The movie we're going to explain in this video is Captain America: Brave New World. Behind this film, there's an amazing story and a mind-blowing context that makes it really special. In this video, we've tried our best to bring out all the hidden details and powerful moments that make this movie so exciting. So, without wasting any more time, let's dive right into the full explanation of Captain America: Brave New World.
The movie starts with General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. If you remember, he was introduced way back in The Incredible Hulk, 2008. Somehow, after all these years, he has become the President of the United States. Before speaking to the nation, he asks his assistant about his daughter, but his assistant tells him, "Sir, she didn't come." Hearing this, Ross looks disappointed. It's clear that his daughter is still angry with him. Then during his speech, he tells the people, America and the entire world has faced many threats. Aliens invading, celestial objects emerging from the earth itself. No matter what danger comes our way, I promise to stand by you and protect you. Meanwhile, we see Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, watching the speech from a bar. He listens carefully but doesn't react much. The TV announces that 16 years ago, Ross did something controversial involving Hulk. Despite that, the people still elected him as president. Since Ross is now leading the country, he will have to work with the new Captain America. But as we know, Sam Wilson and Ross have had conflicts before. Can they put aside their differences and work together? Sam smirks as he finishes his drink and leaves. The movie shifts to a secret government lab. We realize it's the same lab from The Incredible Hulk where experiments were conducted on Hulk and Abomination. Then, we jump 5 months ahead. A soldier named Torres is introduced. He is given a mission by the White House. A group of criminals in Mexico is smuggling a mysterious package to Japan. The mission: intercept the package before it leaves the country. As Captain America arrives, he realizes Torres is already familiar with some of the smugglers. A fight breaks out immediately. Sam uses his wings and shield to take down multiple enemies at once. Meanwhile, Torres overhears a conversation. It turns out the package is linked to a powerful scientist known as Red Wine. She is the head of a secret organization. When she realizes Falcon, Sam, has arrived, she orders her team to split into 2 groups, one to escape with the package and the other to fight Captain America. The fight is intense. Sam fights like a true Captain America using his skills and advanced gear. He nearly defeats everyone when suddenly, Red Wine sends in her strongest fighter, someone with enhanced abilities, almost like a super soldier. This new enemy is incredibly strong, nearly overpowering Sam. Just when it looks like Sam is in trouble, Torres arrives. While Sam holds off the super soldier, Torres chases after the package. After an intense battle, Sam finally manages to break the enemy's arm, forcing him to retreat. But Red Wine escapes. Torres, on the other hand, successfully retrieves the package. Mission accomplished. The next scene shows President Ross visiting his late wife's grave. While he's there, Torres calls him to confirm the mission was successful. Later is introduced to an old friend of Sam's, Isaiah Bradley. If you remember, he was one of the first super soldiers experimented on and imprisoned for years. When Torres meets Isaiah, he asks, "Where have you been all these years?" Isaiah replies, "A president locked me away in a secret prison for 30 years. They tortured me, experimented on me." Hearing this, Torres is shocked. Later, Sam gets a call from President Ross's assistant. The president wants to meet him. At first, Sam refuses, but then he makes a deal. If he comes, Isaiah must be invited too. The White House has no choice but to agree. That night, a car arrives to pick them up. When they reach the White House, they see leaders from different countries have also gathered there. Torres, excited, starts taking selfies, but when he tries to transfer the photos to his phone, something strange happens. His phone glitches. Then, Sam is called in to meet the president. Ross tells Sam, "I know you don't trust me. I know we've had our differences, but right now the world needs protection. We need to form a new team." Sam replies, "You were the one who signed the order that broke up the Avengers, and now you want me to rebuild them?" Ross sighs, "I made mistakes. I understand that now, but things are different. The world is in danger. I need your help." Sam says he'll think about it. The next, a high-level meeting is held at the White House. The president reveals a shocking secret. "We have recovered a rare metal, ammonium. It is far stronger than vibranium. This could change the world." But just as he says this, an assassin suddenly attacks. Chaos erupts. Isaiah joins the fight, taking down several enemies. The attacker manages to escape, but something strange happens. Torres, confused, suddenly finds himself in the middle of the fight. He looks around, shocked. "What's happening? How did I get here?" he asks. Isaiah looks at him and says, "Kid, I think something is very wrong with you." The screen fades to black. Falcon quickly made his way to the president. As soon as he reached him, he asked, "Are you okay, Mr. President?" The president nodded and said, "Yes, I'm fine. This isn't the first time someone has tried to attack me, but I can't believe your friend tried to kill me inside the White House." Falcon shook his head and replied, "Mr. President, I'm 100% sure something is wrong here. Why would a man who already spent 30 years in prison attack you, knowing it would send him back? At that moment, one of the president's security officers said, "Falcon, you know that an ex-ICIS agent was imprisoned for 30 years because of the president. He suffered severe torture in prison. That alone is enough reason for him to seek revenge." Falcon, realizing something was off, said, "Mr. President, I request you to let me investigate. Something doesn't add up. Let me talk to him and find out why he attacked you." But the president firmly responded, "No, Falcon. I don't need your help anymore. If the media finds out that I'm still working with you after your friend attacked me, my reputation will be destroyed. I can't take that risk. Leave and don't come back." Before leaving, Falcon asked, "What about the venture reformation?" The president didn't answer. Instead, he turned away. Falcon had no choice but to leave. But instead of walking away completely, he secretly met with his friend Rohit's sister. She looked worried and said, "You only have 5 minutes. If anyone finds out I'm talking to you, I'll lose my job." Falcon got straight to the point. "Tell me the truth. Why did you attack the president?" The man sighed and replied, "I swear, I don't remember anything. One moment, I was taking a signature from a tourist, and the next thing I knew, I was outside the White House surrounded by police. I don't know what happened in between." He continued, "I already served 30 years in prison. Do you think I'd do something that would send me back? Falcon, I'm trapped. Someone set me up." Falcon's mind raced. He knew something was seriously wrong. Meanwhile, the president's security team was listening to their conversation. Falcon left but immediately contacted the police. He requested them to check the White House CCTV footage. When the footage was analyzed, a shocking truth was revealed. It showed that while the suspect was using his phone to take a photo, the screen started flickering strangely. But 4 security guards' phones also started flickering at the same time. Police realized that this wasn't a coincidence. Someone had used a remote device to hypnotize them. Then another piece of evidence emerged. Just seconds before the attack, a mysterious tune played through their phones. It was clear. This tune was a trigger signal to make them act. Falcon started connecting the dots. The real mastermind had used technology to manipulate people's minds. Then, he remembered something else. That day, a parcel was recovered from the crime scene. But where was it taken? Why would someone leave such a valuable object behind? If they had time, they could have taken it and escaped, but they didn't. Then it hit him. Something unexpected happened. Out of nowhere, Redwine, a notorious hitman, attacked Falcon's car. The explosion sent his vehicle flying. A moment later, Redwine made a call. "Falcon's chapter is closed," he said coldly. Before he could confirm the kill, Falcon launched a surprise attack. A brutal fight broke out. After an intense battle, Falcon managed to stab Redwine in the chest. Struggling to breathe, Redwine gasped, Who do you think I work for?" Before he could answer, his phone rang. Falcon picked it up. A deep voice on the other end said, "Well done, Falcon, but you still don't know what's coming." Meanwhile, the president held a critical meeting with the Indian and French prime ministers. He made his case. "If we work together, we can extract untapped resources that will benefit us all." However, the Indian prime minister shook his head. "After what happened in the White House today, no country will trust you. If you can't protect yourself in your own home, how can you protect us?" The president remained determined. Since the operations were in the Japan Sea, he needed Japan's support to move forward. "If I can convince the Japanese prime minister," he said, "will you stand with me?" They agreed. "Then I'll make sure Japan joins us," the president promised. Meanwhile, Falcon's team traced the last call from Redwine's phone. To their surprise, the call came from a U.S. military base. But when they checked Google Maps, the area was completely blacked out. No satellite images, no public records. That meant it was a highly classified location. Determined to uncover the truth, Falcon and his team set off toward the hidden base. At the same time, FBI agent Rod was investigating the incident. He wanted to meet 4 remaining ICIS agents, hoping they could provide answers. But as he arrived, he saw a soldier approaching them. Before he could react, the soldier opened fire, killing them all. Then, without hesitation, the soldier turned the gun on himself and committed suicide. Rod was in shock. The president boarded a flight to Japan for his next diplomatic move, but during the flight he received a call. "You promised me freedom after you became president, but you lied. You betrayed me. Now, you will pay the price. Very soon, the world will see the truth about you." The president immediately called Rod. "Wherever you are, get to the secret facility now," he ordered. Something dangerous was about to happen, and time was running out. Falcon and his team had finally reached Celebre, a top-secret facility. Security was extremely tight, which meant something highly classified was happening inside. Using advanced stealth tactics, Falcon managed to slip past the guards. But when he and his team entered the facility, they were shocked. Inside, hundreds of DNA samples were stored, including those of ICIS agents and even the president himself. Someone was experimenting on human DNA, and the implications were terrifying. Meanwhile, the U.S. president arrived in Japan and met with the Japanese prime minister.
He tried to persuade him, "We need to work together." But the Japanese Prime Minister wasn't convinced. "Your CIA agents stole something from us," he accused. "You took our property to the White House and then tried to return it, pretending to be our allies. But now you've been caught. How can we trust you?" The president was furious. "This is nonsense. If my agents had stolen something, why would we return it? We wanted to work together." Then he warned, "If you refuse to cooperate, America will claim full ownership of the celestial mineral deposits, and if necessary, we will take them by force." Shocked by the threat, the Japanese Prime Minister remained silent. The president left for a U.S. military base in the middle of the ocean, preparing for what was coming next. Back at the secret laboratory, Falcon and his team dug through computer records. They uncovered something shocking. The man who attacked the president had the ability to control minds. Suddenly, that very man appeared before Falcon. It was Stein. For those who had seen The Incredible Hulk, they would recognize him. At the end of the movie, Stein was injected with Hulk's blood, making him super intelligent. Now, Stein's mind was more powerful than hundreds of computers combined. "Why did you try to kill the president?" "The president promised to free me after taking office, but he lied. He betrayed me. Now he will suffer." Falcon had heard enough. Enough talking. He attacked Stein. But Stein used his mind control powers. Falcon's own teammates turned against him, forcing him into battle. In the chaos, Stein escaped. Meanwhile, FBI agent Rod arrived. He confirmed Falcon's worst fear. This was never about killing the president. This was about something much bigger. The US had stolen something from Japan. Now Stein had hacked US bank accounts and funneled money into mafia groups, all to create chaos. The real goal? Triggering World War III. They had to warn the president before it was too late, but it was already too late. The US president, desperate to assert dominance, ordered fighter jets to launch from his aircraft carrier. Just as the planes took off, Stein hacked them. Using his mind control abilities, he took over the pilots. His command? Attack Japan. The fighter jets turned toward Japan's major cities. As bombs began raining down, Japan responded by launching its own fighter jets toward the US fleet. Falcon and Rod rushed toward the battlefield. They tried to contact the pilots, but none of them were responding. As they approached, they saw the skies erupt in war. The war had begun and the world would never be the same again. Falcon tried to reason with them, but they refused to listen. At one point, they started firing missiles at the American ship. Two observant tourists noticed the attack and quickly worked together to intercept the missiles one by one. They managed to stop all of them, but in the process, one of them, Fell, lost his life. Seeing Fell's sacrifice, the Japanese president ordered his fighter jets to return. Meanwhile, the US president was watching everything from a warship. Just then, he received a call on a secure line. The voice on the other end reminded him of something important. The voice said, "Your own daughter can't even bear to look at you today. The truth is, you are nothing but a monster. You have killed thousands of innocent people just to serve your own interests." Hearing these words, the president's anger started boiling inside him. His face turned red. Something was definitely wrong with him. At the same time, Stan, who was controlling the last fighter jet, realized that things were getting out of hand. He tried to stop the jet. Meanwhile, after a fierce struggle, Fell finally managed to take down the enemy aircraft. Later, the police rescued the injured tourist from the sea and rushed him to the hospital. After multiple surgeries, Torres was finally out of danger. Falcon stood at a distance, watching over them. Just then, an old friend from Kolkata appeared. It had been a long time since they last met. They shared some memories, and before leaving, the friend said, "The president is expecting you. He wants you to rebuild the Avengers." Falcon smiled faintly but said nothing. The next day, the president was scheduled to hold a press briefing about the incident in Japan. But before heading there, he called his daughter. With a heavy heart, he said, "I am ashamed of what I have done. Please forgive me. I haven't seen you in 16 years. I really want to see you." His daughter replied, "First, become a better person. Then maybe I'll come to meet you." Hearing this, the president fell silent. His heart felt heavy with regret. As the president walked onto the stage for his press briefing, Stan smirked. "No one likes me, just like no one likes you," he said. "That's why I'm here to surrender to the police, but before that I want to expose the real monster, the one I created." With that, he handed over evidence to the authorities and turned himself in. Meanwhile, as the president started addressing the press, journalists bombarded him with questions about his past actions, his mistakes, and the things he had done to his own daughter. Suddenly, a hacker took control of the broadcast and exposed a series of leaked call recordings. The recordings contained undeniable proof of the president's crimes. As the public heard the truth, they erupted in anger. The president started sweating, his hands trembling. His rage built up uncontrollably, and within seconds he transformed into Red Hulk. His eyes burned with fury and his skin turned bright red. Security forces panicked and opened fire, but nothing could stop him. Red Hulk went berserk, destroying everything in sight. He tore through the White House, crushing everything in his path. Just then, Falcon arrived. a massive battle erupted between Falcon and Red Hulk. Falcon quickly realized that he couldn't defeat Red Hulk through sheer force. He needed a different strategy. He remembered something. The president loved cherry blossoms because they reminded him of his daughter. So Falcon lured Red Hulk toward a beautiful cherry blossom garden. As they fought, Red Hulk's brute strength proved too much. He tore off one of Falcon's wings. Beaten and exhausted, Falcon struggled to stay in the fight. Then, just as Red Hulk was about to deliver the final blow, Falcon pulled out one last trick. He drove it deep into Red Hulk's chest, triggering a massive explosion. Both of them were severely injured, but Red Hulk still refused to stop. Falcon, barely able to stand, looked at him and said, "I know there's still some humanity left in you. Right now, you have two choices. You can kill me and prove to the world that you really are a monster. Or you can surrender and finally become the hero you were meant to be." At that moment, a cherry blossom petal gently landed in Red Hulk's hand. He stared at it. A flood of memories rushed through his mind. His daughter, his past, his mistakes. His anger faded. Slowly, Red Hulk began to transform back into his human form. The battle was over. The president was arrested and placed in a high-security prison. He confessed to all his crimes and voluntarily stepped down from power. A few days later, Falcon visited him in prison. But he wasn't alone. He had brought someone special, the president's daughter, the leader of the Thunderbolts. For the first time in years, father and daughter looked at each other. Falcon gave them privacy and quietly left. Stan was in prison, talking to a mysterious figure. The figure whispered something about the multiverse and Dr. Doom. Stan smirked. He already knew. If this were a real movie, I'd rate it 7.5 out of 10. What about you? Let me know in the comments below. And if you don't want to miss out on more awesome stories like this, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned.